Number 15. Miracle Mattress. What is shown is nothing short of a miracle, and the fact it was caught on video is even more astounding. The ordeal was caught by a camera which sat over a couple parked cars, but had a decent view of the busy road nearby. Everything happens quite quickly, so it's important to pay attention. A man is bicycling on the side of the road when a large black truck speeds by him. It's unclear if the truck hit the man or simply knocked him off path. Either way, the very second that the cyclist starts to fall to the ground, a mattress falls from the back of the truck. In a swift motion that seems nearly impossible, the mattress slips underneath the man and saves him from touching the ground. The mattress carries the man as it bounces and skids a few feet before stopping. The rider sits atop the bed, clearly confused and shaken. He looks around him, specifically at the new mattress lying beneath him, for several minutes before getting to his feet. Several people walk up to make sure he's okay and to get a closer look at what just happened. There are no words to describe just how impossible this is, and the footage, though quick, is amazing. Number 14. Lightning Target. Lightning has the ability to strike anywhere at any time. Nothing about a previous strike will prevent a second one. Still, it's very rare for lightning to hit the same spot more than once, especially a small surface area like a single tree or person. This video, likely recorded by a street cam in a park, defies the odds by capturing several rare occurrences, though unfortunately at the defense of a pedestrian. Firstly, the video captures lightning striking and gets a pretty clear up-close shot, considering the type of camera used. Secondly, lightning is shown hitting the same object twice, something that has only been documented a handful of times through history. Thirdly, it provides a view of a person getting hit, which is even more rare than the previous. A man running through the rain is shown moving into shot from the bottom of the view. Just as he's in the middle of the shot, lightning strikes down in a flash that's easy to miss. He instantly falls to the ground and lays motionless for several seconds. Eventually and miraculously, he begins to move his feet and sits upright. The pedestrian is clearly disoriented as he sits on the pavement and holds his head before walking away. He runs a few feet and lightning rains down again, knocking him to the ground a second time. What's truly odd about this video is that he ran several feet before being hit again. Someone getting hit by lightning just once. This happening once is improbable, and this man was unlucky enough to experience it twice. Number 13. Rocket. This video was posted by Shlomo Wolens, an Israeli reporter, in May 2007. The clip is only about 9 seconds long, but that's enough to showcase this jaw-dropping, once-in-a-lifetime event. Of course, this is no shooting star and is not to be seen as a magnificent sight or a positive occurrence. It's just the sheer fact that Shlomo was able to capture it on video and share his struggle with the world that makes the footage incredible. The footage shows a rocket hitting a home, which is in the rightmost side of the shot. It is only shown for a split second because, as he said, Shlomo was knocked to the ground and likely unable to keep the camera recording.
Shlomo Wolens, IsraelReporter.com. We just got hit by they wrote.
Another video, which comes from a CNN live report, shows something similar being caught. While reporting in Israel, a reporter was forced to flee the area several times due to more incoming rockets.
Clearer picture of what's going on there. You can see actually the crews now working on the ground, and that seems to indeed be part of the rocket that has landed here. But people here spend most of their days indoors. Colin, there's another rocket alert going on right now. We got to get out of here.
Okay, go, Fred. All right, there you see it. A strike in.
While this footage does not show as much of the effects as the one posted by Shlomo, It does show what it's like having to flee and how often they were hitting in busy cities. In addition, it was a pretty interesting video to be captured during a live airing. Number 12, bridge collapse. This footage has been shared countless times since it was captured. While this is considered the biggest fail in history, it's also considered a great piece of research for the engineering that surrounds highways, bridges, and roads today. This video shows the first Tacoma Narrows Bridge, a suspended bridge in Washington, built in 1940, which was the third largest of its kind, opened to traffic in July 1940, and collapsed only a few months later in November. High winds and a phenomenon known as aeroelastic flutter caused the bridge to begin swaying, bouncing, and twisting like a jump rope. The footage shows the mysterious and jaw-dropping motion of the bridge. The movement is so unnatural to us now that it almost looks fake. The bridge contorts for several hours, which is presented as a few short clips in this video, before it breaks apart and completely collapses into the water below. Number 11, skydiver meets meteor. While the details of this video are debatable, the possibility of its authenticity is still fascinating. In 2014, this skydiver from Norway claims he was nearly hit by a meteor while in the air. Anders Helstrup explains that his helmet camera was recording during this dive and caught the object nearly hit him just seconds after opening his parachute. The footage moves fairly quickly, and it's hard to identify the meteor. After a slow motion shot and a still frame were created though, the rock is in plain sight and quite easy to see. Helstrup explains that at the time, he wasn't even fully aware of what happened. He explains that the meteor quickly zoomed past him as it spiraled down. At the same time, he was also moving quite fast, and turned to his footage later for answers.
La du merke til det? I saktere film det lettere å se det som en astronomisk sensasjon. Kameraene på hjelmen fanger opp en stein som suser gjennom lufta.
Many believe this was just a rock that had been caught in his parachute, but others are convinced that this is true footage of a meteor. If the footage is genuine and not just a regular old rock, this video is the first and only of its kind. Number 10, floor free fall. On May 24th, 2001, the unthinkable occurred at this wedding hall in Israel. After a beautiful wedding ceremony, friends and family of the new couple gathered on the dance floor to enjoy their night and celebrate love. Men, women, and children, the elderly, and everything in between were gathered on the dance floor when this event happened. In this video, which eventually went viral, was provided by the wedding photographers and filmographers. Dancing, clapping, and music can be heard, filling the large reception hall. The camera is pointed to a young girl being held by her father. She is, of course, smiling as everyone crowds the dance floor, clapping in joy. As the crowd bounces and dance, it becomes clear that something is wrong. The room appears to be shaking. At first, it seems like camera error, or perhaps the result of dance moves. The cameraman moves to the side of the crowd. In a split second, the floor and its crowd disappears into dust. The cameraman, as well as a few people that avoided the dance floor, are left safely on the sidelines. The footage shows a woman yelling, running in confusion, and peering into the sunken floor as if searching for someone. One man walks up towards the floor as if he missed the event and looks around for answers before he is pulled out of shot by someone else. Parents carrying their children run from the site and mothers yell for help. The floor collapsed due to the massive weight and movement being applied to it. However, the main cause is that the wedding hall used a material that was not allowed to be used a short time before the completion of the hall. This material was deemed too weak and unstable for dance floors or reception halls not on the ground level. As a result of this error, the family involved and others affected sued the wedding hall. It took 15 years for them to receive compensation, but were finally awarded about 120 million shekels, roughly 33 million US dollars. Number 9. Avalanche. Skiing is yet another sport with possible fates. The only thing more unpredictable than sliding down snow at high speeds is Mother Nature herself. In this video, which was posted online and went viral shortly after, a skier faces an unexpected obstacle while taking on a massive mountain. Just after heading down the mountain, an avalanche occurs out of nowhere. The skier was quickly covered by the immense weight of snow. His helmet camera caught the whole incident from the start of his ski to the snow engulfing him. After he realizes what has happened, he begins yelling for help and trying to get air, which can be heard in the video. Luckily for him, 2 friends witnessed the avalanche and quickly ran down to save him. One man can be seen on the video, quickly digging the snow away and pulling the skier out. He gasps in an effort to breathe and begins sobbing. He was very lucky to walk away from this, and was even more lucky that his friends were nearby. Otherwise, he could have been trapped under snow for hours or even days. Number 8. Skilled trucker. It seems like every other day videos are shared online of incidents involving large trucks on busy roads. Fortunately, this video is the exact opposite. While traveling on a Korean highway in February 2017, this skilled driver saved not only their life, but the lives of fellow drivers. Due to a sharp curve in the road, this 18-wheeler began to skid across the pavement and tip to one side. The truck drove forward on one set of wheels before swerving into the left lane. This resulted in the truck tipping on the left side and nearly going over the highway median. Luckily, the driver gained control and got the truck back on track. Clearly, this large vehicle should have tipped over entirely. However, the driver was able to prevent that from happening and even avoided other drivers in the process of balancing the vehicle. It's best not to imagine what would have happened if this driver did not pull off the impossible, and it's even more amazing that the ordeal was caught on video. Number 7. Russian meteor. In February 2013, a meteorite hit Russia. Civilians all over the country caught footage of the fascinating occurrence. While the hit was massive, it was considered small. This video shows several shots of the mass plummeting towards the earth. What looks like a bright shooting star at first quickly becomes a giant rock blazing downward. Of course, the closer the meteor gets, the larger and brighter it appears. In several videos, the meteor seems harmless as it burns off before making impact. In others though, a loud boom can be heard as the object blasts through the sky. In addition, car alarms and breaking glass can be heard as well, as the concerned yelling of witnesses.
Ебать! Нихуя!
8 months after the meteor made its way to Earth, it was recovered in a lake. It weighed about 570 kilograms, or 1,200 pounds, and has been deemed the largest meteorite recovered in history. While the footage is provided to us in plenty on the internet, for those that witnessed the occurrence, this was truly once in a lifetime. Number 6. Motherly instincts. For those that love our pets like children, this video is pretty hard to watch. A young woman, Tamara Siebert, was walking her 2 dogs when she entered an elevator and had to save her dog's life. Apparently, the larger black dog's leash got caught in the elevator door, and as it descended down, the dog was pulled up. It appears as though this dog is wearing a prong collar, which tightens as it's pulled and has slightly sharp prongs which poke into the dog's neck. These collars are usually used on larger dogs to help the owner keep control. In this situation, however, this was not the collar for the dog to be wearing. As the leash was pulled, it likely caused the collar to tighten and poke into the poor animal's neck. Luckily, Siebert reacted quickly. She lifted her dog to alleviate pressure and tried to remove the collar. She released him for a moment to stop the elevator. The dog hangs from the leash and kicks in a panic as the woman hurries to hold him back up. The elevator door finally opens and the dog falls to the ground. Siebert tries to comfort him, but he runs out in fear. The owner looks at her hand, which may have been affected in the commotion. After this, Siebert stands in between the elevator doors, trying to calm herself down. As she cries and holds her chest, she eventually slumps to the ground, sobbing more, before picking up her things and walking away. Thankfully, this video doesn't have sound because the cries of the pup were probably hard to listen to. It's also a good thing that this owner was able to react so quickly and knew how to stop the elevator to save her best friend's life. Number 5. Rain wreck. This traffic cam shows a highway near an underpass where cars are traveling over the slick roads through what appears to be a storm. The lanes are already flooding due to the amount of rain pouring down, which presents an obstacle for drivers. As the weather continues, a hole with a lid can be seen pushing water out. This is likely a manhole which leads underground. As many may know, when streets begin to flood, the water washes into underground sewer systems to prevent flooding. In this case, it appears that the flooding was occurring too rapidly and the underground storage had filled to the top. The lid bounces up slightly several times. Just after an 18-wheeler passes the opening, the lid flies off and tons of water gush onto the road. Both the amount and the pressure of water pouring onto the highway continues to increase until it is up into the air. The fountain reaches several feet above ground and comes crashing onto passing cars. In the mess of water, the lid was thrown onto a passing truck, which can be seen when the water stops spewing. The truck is stalled in the middle of the road as water flows around and other vehicles continue to pass. A white car, which looks as though it could have been a cop car, pulls near the truck and slows down, but eventually speeds off with the rest of traffic. The video cuts, and next we see that the driver is out on the road, likely waiting for help or trying to push their vehicle. The water begins to spew again, sending the driver running to safety. Something like this has probably only happened a few times in the history of highways, and it's almost incredible that it was caught on video. Of course, you've got to feel a little sorry for the driver and their ruined vehicle. Number 4. Miraculous jump. Base jumping is a risky yet exciting sport in which people jump from fixed structures or bases. Usually, these locations are thousands of feet off the ground. Parachutes or wingsuits are used near the end of the jump. In this case, a base jumper in Russia was quite unlucky. The jumper, who seems quite young, prepares to jump from a 120-meter or 390 feet power pylon. As his friend records the adventure, the jumper is clearly nervous as he shakes in anticipation and hesitates to leap. He eventually goes for it and jumps off the pylon. He plummets towards the ground, which becomes bigger and bigger the further down he gets. He releases his parachute in due time, but unfortunately it does not properly deploy. He continues to fall and eventually hits the ground with a massive force, which sends snow flying around him. Luckily for him, that snow is exactly what saved him. Though malfunctioning parachutes do occur often, the probability of capturing a video like this is pretty low. Not only do we get to see how the parachute failed, we get to see the result of a failed base jump as well. Number 3. Double the winnings. This video comes from a news report from 1999. Australian citizen Bill Morgan was being interviewed by a local news station about his recent lottery winnings when he miraculously won the lottery again on live TV. Bill was living paycheck to paycheck in a small trailer and described his life as miserable. After an allergic reaction, his heart suddenly stopped and he was rushed to the hospital. Doctors were unable to save him for 14 minutes. Eventually, his heart started beating again, but doctors feared he would be in what was essentially a coma for the rest of his life and urged his family that the right thing to do was take him off life support. 12 days later, he suddenly woke up, despite the doctor's predictions. After leaving the hospital, he quit his miserable job and proposed to his girlfriend. He was determined that he would make the best out of his second chance at life. His girlfriend said yes. There's a saying that encourages someone to buy a lottery ticket to cash in on their streak of luck after good things happen to them. Certainly, after waking from a coma and someone accepting your proposal is good luck. Bill's luck got even better when he bought a lottery scratch-off though. He won a brand new car with a cheap scratch-off. Local news contacted Bill to interview him about his unstoppable streak of recent luck. During the scene, he was asked to purchase another scratch-off. To reenact the moment he had won a car, Bill bought the ticket from the same station as before and bent down to scratch it off. In the midst of his scratching, he paused as if he was baffled. Immediately, he looks up and says, "I just won again. I am not joking." This time, instead of a car, Bill cashed in on $250,000. He began to sob and laugh at the same time in this moment. Store employees came over to check the ticket, confirmed he won, and congratulated him.
New job, the new car, and even more good luck when we asked Bill to reenact buying his scratchy ticket.
I just won 250,000. I'm not joking.
You're not, are you? Really?
I just won 250,000. Oh, please don't come with me.
You have to. Give us a congratulations, Bill. Good on you. Fantastic. Look. It's just...
I think I'll have another heart attack.
Store employees were surprised at the win and explained they literally could not believe his luck. Bill called his fiancée to inform her that he'd be buying a new house. The odds of winning the top prize on a scratch-off are about 1 in 600,000. The odds of winning twice are even lower. Number 2. Shark Encounter. Thanks to modern technology and Shark Week, seeing footage of a shark is nothing miraculous. In fact, for adventurous divers, coming face to face with a shark isn't that rare either. This video, however, provides incredible footage of an unexpected encounter with a great white. Terry Tufferson is a YouTuber with few uploads, but about 24,000 subscribers. The sparse videos he was sharing were filmed via GoPro. This particular video, posted in June 2014, shows Terry using his GoPro while jumping off a cliff. The tall cliff was over a body of sparkling water, and he likely only recorded the event to demonstrate the use of the GoPro or share his thrilling dive. Shortly after Terry hits the water though, he captures something that was completely unprepared for. As he begins swimming underwater in an attempt to reach shore, a large white mass can be seen slowly appearing as it approaches the camera. Within seconds, it becomes clear that this figure is a great white shark. Gargled yelling can be heard by Terry as he becomes motionless. In a struggle to swim to land, or at least a tall rock, Terry comes face to face with the shark many times. At one point, he even swats his hand and yells as if to shoo the shark away. During this whole ordeal, the great white seems fairly unfazed by Terry's presence and even his motions. Luckily, Terry makes it to shore safely. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about this footage is just how unexpected it was. Terry was clearly not a skilled diver, exploring underwater wildlife. He was just swimming and seeking a thrill. His pure reaction combined with the rare footage makes this video, which has over 36 million views, unique to say the least. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT with underscores instead of spaces. I also have a Twitter at YT_chills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. If you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, then hit that subscribe button because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Number 1. Action Flick. Dashcams have provided us with countless amazing, hilarious, thrilling, and mysterious videos through the years. In this case though, someone's dashcam caught something you're not likely ever going to see in your life. In fact, it looks as though this is a scene cut straight out of an action blockbuster. While going down a 2-lane highway, the black car to the right begins to merge quickly into the left lane. In a matter of seconds, a motorcyclist also speeds from the right lane into the left. Both vehicles are going fairly fast, and it's likely that the cyclist didn't even see the car was getting over. The cyclist hits the back of the car, and his bike is immediately blown into a mess of debris and dust. Somehow, at the very moment he hits this car, he flew into the air and landed on the top of the car. Now, in any other case, he would have been thrown into the middle of the road. Not only did he get thrown perfectly on top of the car, he even managed to land on his feet and gain enough balance to not fall off as the car came to a stop. Though the car that carries the dashcam stops, you can still see the cyclist riding atop the second car for a few feet, just crouching in place while staying balanced. This incident is the epitome of a miracle, or at least an amazing defeat of the odds. This bike rider was likely counting his blessings for the next 10 years. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!